To be fair to both parties, if you look at from the angle of on this issue of security challenges in Zamfara during the Bello Matawalle era as governor of Zamfara state, where Musa Kamarawa made an allegation of the former governor and the present minister of state for defense Bello Matawalle having knowledge of issues like as he alleged for him to have had, and also coming from the angle of the Commissioner of Internal Security of Zamfara State during the era of Bello Matawalle as the governor of Zamfara. If you compare the two, I think we Nigerians should be fair in our judgment, we should be fair in our thinking, we should be fair in our utterances, in our comment. You don't just make comment until when you are sure of what you are saying, you have the fact, the figures before making comment. I now come to realize that the truth is what happened in Zamfara, based on the submission of the Commissioner of Home Affairs and Internal Securities during the Matawalle era as governor of Zamfara state, that is flying everywhere now that the man is involved in banditry, he has taken responsibility, or he's sponsoring banditry and kidnappings and what have you. It is clear from the explanation of the Commissioner of Home Affairs and Internal Security during Bello Matawalle era that it was a committee that was set up. According to him, a committee was set up to look at the possibility of finding a lasting peace, peace and peaceful coexistence for development of Zamfara state as at that time. And he has also further explained that the then general officer commanding that access, the Commissioner of Police of the state as at that time, the Director of State Security Service as at that time, all the traditional institutions, community leaders, market women and men, youth groups and associations were involved in the discussion and a dialogue of trying to find a lasting solution to the security challenges bedeviling Zamfara state as at the time Bello Matawalle was the governor of Zamfara state. So what transpired then, according to him, was a unanimous consensus and agreement of all stakeholders in Zamfara state that for as long as they require peace, peaceful coexistence, and for people to be able to live freely, unhindered, without those security challenges, certain things needed to be done. And according to his explanation, that thing was what happened, that it was unanimously agreed that first, they should be provided with all that they need, and that there was a consensus. There were those that were being sent to go and discuss with them, just like what is happening everywhere. Once there's a security challenges, there are people that have access to them that can go and negotiate, more like negotiating for peace and things like that. I think that was what the Commissioner of Home Affairs and Internal Security was trying to explain. I guess it was a unanimous agreement within the stakeholders of the state as at that time that what needed to be done was to set up a committee, come up with a recommendation, and then the recommendation be implemented. And part of the committee's recommendation was that these people be reached out. And then I understand from what he also explained, they went out, reached out to them, had a discussion with them, agreed that they were going to cease fire, and on ceasing the fire, they had a demand. That is to say, if we will down tool, but we will require A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H for us to be able to down tool. I guess that was what happened as at that time, and at the end of the day, the governor and the government, and based on the unanimous decision and agreement that was reached between the stakeholders, that was how those things were delivered to the so-called bandits and what have you, for them to rescind that idea of kidnapping, cattle rustling, and what have you. And I guess from the explanation of the Commissioner then of Home Affairs and Internal Security of Zamfara, when Matawalle was the governor, he has explicitly made us understand that that thing that was done to solve the problem, and after doing it, Zamfara's people went to farm, and kidnapping, cattle rustling, as within that time frame, completely stopped, which means the aim for which that was done has been achieved. So it is more like not the Matawalle's decision to do that, but it is a stakeholders' decision to go into that agreement, and it was done and it paved way. So I don't know why, but people refuse to understand or refuse to comprehend or refuse to balance this something by listening to the both parties. I guess to an extent there are those, either the opposition party or people that are just personally after Bello Matawalle's progress, that are the ones that are coming up with these challenges and doing everything possible just to bring him down. And personally, I don't think that is the right way to go. Even if you are looking for a position, or his position, or whatever position that he is aspiring to get to, and you are also aspiring, or you are either occupying now or you intend to occupy, I don't think there is any reason for you to go after somebody's integrity, for you to go after somebody's liberty just to bring him down. More like a bring him down syndrome. I don't think it is right. So I will advise that people should be cautious, people should be careful in utterances and action, because you may end up doing something that at the end of the day it will haunt you for the rest of your life. And we are human beings. Human beings are bound to make one mistake or the other. And then I remember the word of a leader, one of the famous leaders we have in Nigeria. I may not need to mention his name. What he said was, history will forgive you for taking a decision, but history will never forgive a leader for not taking a decision. So a decision was taken, as at that time it was a unanimous decision among the leaders and stakeholders of the state, not an individual, not the governor Matawalle as an individual, but unanimously agreed that these steps be taken, and it was taken, and it has favored the people of the state as at that moment, which means it has served the purpose for which it was done. It was not an individual decision. It was not, for God's sake, what would the governor be requiring from a bandit? Is he going to give him money as the state governor? Or is he going to get power from them? Or what? I sit and look at this and think of it, and I cannot comprehend what really these people are saying or after.